Oh, Prison Architect, Xbox One edition. How about that? Exciting stuff, right? I think we go with Hatnova. Aknova even, not Hatnova. Jesus. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go with Aknova. Because I like being dodgy. And we're going to... I've seen that you can basically have water and stuff in this game now, so I want to sort of surround the prison with water, so no one can escape. They have to swim off the island. I think you can also get cliffs and stuff, so that sounds awesome. Generate forests, we don't want that because then we just have to remove them. Generate lakes, no, because we want to make our own. Generate buildings, off. Failure conditions, definitely on. You will be fired if you do not keep control of the prison, riots, bankruptcy, too many deaths or escapes. That seems fair enough. Aknova can deal with that because she is a hard Russian woman. Okay? She is a hard Russian woman. I mean, that is probably the worst accent you have ever heard. I mean, I don't know if that's going Asian or not. Prison gangs. For an extreme challenge, prisoners will arrive with gang allegiances, will seek to control territories in the prison and strike fear among your staff. I mean, that seems fair enough that we have that on, right? Because that is a reality. Okay, that's what happens in the real world. Prison people are in gangs in prisons. Okay, prison isn't full of nice people. Okay, you might think it is, but it's not. So there we go. Criminally insane. Criminally insane inmates deal with inmates who are constantly fleeing. Oh, that doesn't say fleeing at all. Feeling suppressed. Require new padded cells. What? Is that a new thing in the game? Is that with the DLC? Because I've got some sort of like crazy DLC. So require new padded cells and psychiatric help to reduce their privacy, comfort, safety, and freedom needs before they ignite. Okay, I mean that sounds difficult. I mean, basically, we're just going to instantly fail, aren't we? I mean, the padded cell sounds awesome, though, so I do feel like I want to give that a go. So yeah, I think that's us done. Safara, Aknova, we choose you! We're in the game. Awesome. Okay, so like I say, this is on controller, so it's a little bit more fiddly, but at the same time, let's do this, right? No excuses. Okay, so here we are. This is our grounds. Oh god, it is large as well. Look at that. That is a lot of land to work with. Okay, so the first thing you want to do, the game is called Prison Architect, okay? So basically, you want to plan everything out. That's what I'm going to try and do. That's probably all this session is going to be. I might not even get to building yet. So I want to just plan out as much as I can before I even build anything, okay? Because that is just what to do, right? This is kind of our entrance because we've got a delivery section here, so this is where they drop stuff off, even prisoners, it seems. Like prisoners are some sort of like commodity. And this is garbage, so this is where our garbage goes out. So that's fine. Okay, so we want to make this sort of gangway a little bit bigger. So let us get into, what are the buttons? Here we go. We're going to go to planning, which is here. And we want to get our, we're going to go to pathways. So we want this kind of this 3 wide pathway? I think so, or is it 2 wide pathway? Go over 2 wide pathway. We're going to bring that down here. Maybe as a road or something, because you can get road paths. Okay, then we're going to go with... Oops, I'm going to get used to the buttons eventually, don't worry. We don't want them to like the building to start here, because we want all the way around here, like all the way around this sort of side where the road is, to be like water eventually. So it's basically like an island, because that's what I think that's really cool. I was looking at prisons on Google, and all the best ones are like called Isle of something or something Isle. So I want to have an island prison. Okay, so that's going to be a double door on their way in. So let's grab some walls. We can make this into a corridor. Okay. See, this is where the planning stage comes in. This is where the name Prison Architect really comes alive. Okay, so we'll get this sort of like airlock almost. So we'll get them in here. We'll like funnel them in. Maybe we'll make it a bit bigger because we don't want them to get, you know, on top of each other too much. Especially when we're taking in like 20 odd prisoners. And then we'll have the second set of doors here, I think. This could all change, but this is why you plan it first. Then I think you need like a reception sort of area eventually. So we'll make a reception area here. Bring it out a bit. Is that enough? Is that equal now? God, it has to be equal. It has to be symmetrical, doesn't it? So that will be our reception area here, I think. So we'll just sort of set that that's going to be a room. There we go. So now we know that's a room. Okay, everyone remember that that is going to be a room. Cool. So then on the opposite side of that, we can have some doors. Oh shit, not like that though. Get that wall back in. So that's going to be doors. Okay, so we got 3 sets of doors so far, which is going to slow down movement because someone has to open it every time. But eventually you can get like electronic doors or something. So they can be like opened remotely, but that's like a long way off. Yeah, I mean we've literally just put down a square here, not even in real life, just in planning. So that's fine. So this will be our reception. So everyone will get like there'll be a desk here. Guess probably a desk here. No, that's a wall. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. I will get used to the buttons eventually, but don't tell me a word for it either. So there'll be a desk there where they'll come up and then they'll get processed and then they'll come through here. So once they come through here, what I'm thinking, right, is get a wall in here. So what we want is like sort of a central corridor system, I think. I've kind of roughly planned this out in my head. So if the central, like, we square it off here basically. I don't even know how big I made this one. What was it? That 9, I think? It's 9. So if we go 9 this way. Yep, that is 9, good. And then if we came down like this, basically. Not that big, but quite big. What's that? 32. That's very big. 30, that would cost us loads of money. Loads of money! How much we got? We had 100,000. We've already made 35 bucks, so that's pretty good. What was it? 30, wasn't it? So if we go to 30 to there, what I'm thinking is something like this, right? So go like that, and then we want 2 wide corridors, because you don't want people falling over each other. A bit of space. Is that too wide? That's too wide, there. So then if we came down like this, over here, something like that. Do the same on the other side. 2. All the way down. Fantastic. So basically this is a corridor now, so we can obviously it's a corridor, you can see that. It actually looks a bit like a spaceship, doesn't it? Sort of like a Y-wing. If we took this back bit off, it looks a bit like a Y-wing. But yeah, that's fine. That was unintentional. It looks like it's also firing a beam of light. But yeah, that's fine. Is that just me that's seeing that? Probably. Okay, so I'm thinking this can be like a yard here. Yeah. This is what I've got planned out in my head. So if that was a yard, eventually, okay, we could put this sort of corridor down here. Yeah. Stay with me here. Okay, so these were like sort of, we might have to take this out a bit, but this was like a yard. So let me just get pathway to show you this as a space. Say this was 1 yard, okay, and then this was another yard. Yeah, we can have like, because you get different, obviously, levels of, as you do in any prison, I guess, different levels of badness, I was going to say. What is the word? Like, you know, what kind of punishment they've got, you know, what crime they made. So this can be like low security people, and this could be like medium. Obviously, we'd have like the really bad ones like up in this corner somewhere, maybe on their own island. Oh yes, maybe on their own island, that would be good. So then they can have the 1 yard, and then we can make this a fence here, and then another fence here, and then in between here, where eventually you can get like armed people, so we get like sniper towers overlooking both yards, I'm thinking. So yeah, we want like a central sort of yard that is like enclosed by walls, but like gets sunlight from the top. So it's like really sort of creepy and fucking, you know, dull as shit, and people hate their lives, and because that's what you gotta be like in prison, right? You gotta hate your life. So that will be some sort of security door eventually. I think this has got to be a bit bigger though, because that yard is pretty damn small. It's long, but it's small, so just like my penis, long but small. So let's just erase this back part because it's a little bit long. So let's just put some walls here. There we go, perfect. But let's also drag this down a bit here. See, this is why you plan, because if I'd built that already, I'd have to demolish it. That would be disaster. Absolute disaster. So right, I know this is getting confusing now, because I'm getting confused myself. But I shouldn't say that everyone else is confused just because I am. Right, if we get rid of that, that's probably too big now, but that's fine. But let's just, because you're going to get a lot of people in here eventually, right? So it's going to need to be a big old yard, isn't it? So that's fine. So how big is this now? That is, I can't even see, 11 meters. Why is the writing so small? I guess I could zoom in, but who wants to zoom in? Who's got time to zoom in these days? Enhance! You know, like they do in, I don't know, CSI? Is that a show? show still going? I don't know. So let's get the corridor going down there. Cool. And then what the hell do we have to delete here? I can't even figure it out. I think it's that. Cool. That was right, I think. Then you got big old yards for them now. So they can have like all sorts of shit in here. Telephones, maybe some showers, maybe some outdoor toilets, some gym equipment. If you can get basketball equipment, they can have that. And yeah, so that's our prison so far. So they come in, and then they're filtered either way, depending on whether they're good or bad. No, not good or bad. Whether they're like minimum security or maximum, medium security. And then again, maximum later on, be on its own island over here, I think. Okay, cool.